Hi everybody, I'm Harmony and this is my channel, Harmony Stitches. If you are joining for the first time, this is a channel about my crafting, which is cross stitch for the most part and then some knitting and crochet. I just want to take a moment to thank everyone for stopping by, whether you're a returning subscriber or a returning watcher or you're stopping by for the very first time this week. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to visit with me and talk about my crafts. If you ever have any questions or anything, feel free to comment below, or you can email me at the email in the About section of this channel and I will get right back with you. I check the comments and the email all the time. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First, I have a purchase and some plans for getting items ready for display. So today we had a couple of errands to do and we stopped by the store and I found this, and it was clearanced out for $2.50, and as soon as I saw it, I thought this would be perfect for the piece that I stitched for my daughter. It's a freebie from, actually I can't remember, but of course I will link it below. I did share this in a previous video, but who can remember these things? So this is not exactly folded how it's going to be, but she wanted it in a frame of some kind. But since she was with me, I said, hey, how about finishing it and putting it on like that? And she said, yeah, that works good. So I'm just gonna mount it on a piece of board and then cover this piece right here, and that will be finish number one. I was hoping to kind of get some finishes done yesterday to show you, since it was a long weekend, but I didn't feel well yesterday. Of course, go figure, on a day off you don't feel well. So I didn't get these done. But then I had this one that I showed in a previous video where it had this piece, there's little things stapled on there that said Happy Easter, and I said, well, maybe I'll just leave it, maybe I'll just cover it, maybe I'll put it in the inset in the back. But I was looking at it one day and I said, you know, that kind of reminds me of a church window. So I asked my family, how about putting Silent Night from Stitching with the Housewives on there? And they said, yeah, that'll look great. So I'm thinking putting this yellow fabric as the backing for like the lights in the window, and it kind of mirrors the windows in the piece because they're yellow. So that's what I was thinking, is using this yellow, mounting it, and then mounting the yellow and layering it up and putting it on here. And then I'll have two simple finishes, hopefully for next time. It just depends on my work schedule. Okay, so that's all for plans for getting things ready for display. Now we'll move into cross stitch whips. I did not knit or crochet this week, so it's just cross stitch. The first one is Secret Stitch. I made some progress on this. So this is Bigfoot Bunch by Plum Street Samplers. And I started this a couple weeks ago, so if you want to see the journey of this piece, you can, and the story behind it, you can go ahead and look at the previous videos. I had to get the floss for the Bigfoot, and I did that on Friday. And here's my progress so far. I did finish all of the leaves. Oh, geez. Even though this material is not very big, it's hard for me to fold it up and show you. So I finished all of the leaves. I think I had this one to finish and the outline of these three right here to do. I did start to put in these little tiny flowers, which was probably hard for you to see from the cover photo, but I only have 3 more to put in. One was right here in between the legs, and one was like up by the arm. And I really wanted the body to give me a point of reference, so that way I didn't miscount. So then yesterday I got the feet and both legs, and then starting of the stomach put in. And then of course it has an outline using Classic Colorworks hickory sticks. So I am using the called for color for the body, which is DMC 3790. And then for the feet, I chose a couple. 613 was one of the one of the options, but then, oh, sorry, I didn't write on the tags yet. DMC 842 was the winner because it's a little pinky, a little tan, and then it wasn't going to get lost on the fabric. So I didn't take my fabric into the store, but when I picked out 3790, oh, it's all messy. When I picked out 3790, I said, well, they look good together, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it just in case. So this is what the body is going to look like. So 3790 is the inside of the fur. This is the feet, the face, and the hands. And then this is the outline of the body to give it a little bit of shape and dimension. So I'm really happy with the colors and how they came out. And for just a reminder, the reason why I'm not using the called for color, which is Classic Colorwork Cinnamon Toast for the feet, face, and hands, is because it's super pink. It's like a medium mauve color, and it just didn't sit right with me. I didn't think that it was going to look well. So I just changed up a little bit, and I'm really happy with the progress and the outcome of those colors. So what I have left is in this corner is the mama. Above this leaf here is the baby, and then I have the dad. So I have that left to stitch. And they are going away on Friday to Saturday afternoon. So I'm hoping to have a finish because, of course, Father's Day is approaching. And I'm talking quietly because he's downstairs. He can hear me talking. Okay, the next stitch is the Alice in Wonderland Sal Stitch Along by Owl Force Embroidery. I have completed part 1 and part 2, even all the little fiddly things that I was missing last time, and I am almost done with part 3, so I'll show you. This is what it looks like overall. So as you can see, I did get all the flower buds and things done and the hearts on part 1. And then part 3, what I had left to do was the flowers, I think, on either side, the white ones. Because remember, I was having a hard time picking out the white. But as you can see in the white rabbit, you can see him pretty well. So I got the white rabbit done. He does have a watch hanging from his one hand that I have to stitch. I got the tree with the acorns and then this little border. Also in part 3 is a border that goes across the entire top of the piece. And besides the watch, that's the only part that I have to do on part 3. And that part 4 will come out this Friday, June 4th. So I have plenty enough time to get it done. And then I figure even if I don't, if something happens, if work kicks my behind again, then all I have to do is stitch enough of the top border to get me across part 4 or wherever part 4 is. I'm assuming that they're going to go around in a circle. I may be completely wrong, but I'll just keep stitching on that as I did like part 1 and part 2. As I stitched the current piece that came out, then I would go back and stitch the others. So this week we did come back to the orange, which is 3776 DMC, which is the acorn color. We came back to 471, which was the bottom border underneath the rabbit. We added, it doesn't say it on the tag, but this is DMC 729 for the gold in the rabbit's coat and the buttons. And then, of course, we used 221 for the red in the coat, and then we used DMC 3345 for the dark green. And I have 2 more skeins of this. So that's what we used. It did call for DMC 712, which is a creamy white for the rabbit and the white parts, but it doesn't show up on my fabric. So that's why I had a journey of trying to figure out what I was going to use for the rabbit. So here's all the colors that are left to come up sometime. Oops, I'm dropping them. So a couple blues and purples and a cream and a pink. So these are the ones that I haven't used yet. Oh, and I think some DMC 310. Oh yeah. It's on my ring already. I don't know why, but it's on my ring. So there's that. Alice in Wonderland. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get caught up. Because then when if I do get caught up before the next portion comes out, then I'm either going to pull out a whip or spin my new start wheel, or put more strands of floss into Pandemic, which is my last whip for this week. And I got 2 page finishes. Oh no, I finished page 16 last time. I remember because I moved the frame and I wasn't able to show you in person. But I did finish page 15, which the top of it kind of goes, it's right along the bottom of their feet, that person's feet. So I was able, well, I have a couple of stitches here and then a couple of stitches here, but I figured it equals because I did a little bit more of the border and a little bit more of the person. So I did get that done. And then I moved over to page 14 and I am working on this huge flower bouquet that goes in that pot. So this marks the center of page 14 and 13. So I don't think that I will be able to finish page 14 by the end of the month because the end of the month is tomorrow, May 31st. Or May 31st. Like, how many days is there? I do have 5 more strands to put in today, and then I have 8 strands tomorrow, but even though it's 13, I don't think that it will be enough to get the complete page finish, but I'm pretty sure that I will be able to, I'll get it done by the end of the week, and then I should be able to have page 13 through 15 done so far, and then I'll move across because I have half of those pages done already, so I'll move across to the left and continue on that way before I go up a little bit more. I was telling my daughter that all the way to the left is the heavy stitching, and I have half of it done already. So I'm hoping that some of the other pages will fly by a little bit quicker, so that way I can still be on track to have this project done by the end of the year. So that's pretty exciting. And you know what? Again, I forgot to tell you what I'm stitching any of this stuff on. I showed you threads and that's about it. Secret Stitch is 28 count Monaco. I don't know what the exact color is, but it's either like antique white or off-white or something like that. Alice in Wonderland Sal is on 18 count white Aida that I coffee and teed on myself. And then Pandemic is also on 28 count Monaco on that light color. I think they're probably the same color actually. I bought from an online retailer that was selling some yardage, and I just said, give me what you have in the whites and creams. And they came in one shipment and they weren't labeled, so I don't really know which one's which because they were kind of similar. I would probably say that they're not ivory. They're probably antique white or cream. I don't really know what colors Monaco came in, so I'm not sure. Okay, the very last thing that I have to talk about is Summerstock Camp. For any of you that are knitters that have either knit socks before or always wanted to try knitting socks, this is for you. It starts on Tuesday, June 1st and runs through July 31st, which, fun fact, July 31st is my birthday. And it's all about knitting socks. And you don't have to be a pro, you don't ever have to have knitted any before, and you don't have to be a beginner either. So it's anywhere from beginner to pro, anywhere in between. It's just an opportunity for you to knit socks. Why? I think one is because during the summer, most people don't want to knit big heavy things because it's always resting on you and it creates more warmth when we already have enough from the outside weather. And Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady, who is that's her channel name, The Crazy Sock Lady. She loves making socks, and that's primarily what she makes. So, of course, if she's going to host an event, it's going to be socks. Last week, I showed you 3 options that I was thinking about using. I did get 2 votes. They were kind of for number 3, but then one person said, well, maybe do number 2. Well, I thought about it a lot, and I do have them here. This is number 1, the purples, grays, and black, or dark teal, or whatever it is. And then this one that has the green, which was number 2. These 2, I believe I could find contrasting colors like a white or a gray, even a black, that would make a great shawl or something like that. This one, the Ridiculous, I tried, and I can't even begin to choose. Like, where do you start finding a contrasting color or coordinating color to go with this to make a shawl? Like if you wanted to do a 2-color shawl or a 2-skein shawl, I have no idea. So I think this is the one that I'm going to use for the socks, because it will lend itself well for that. They'll be fun and crazy and colorful, and then I won't have to later on try to figure out what color I'm going to pair with it, because they'll just be a fun set of socks. They won't be exactly matching, like the colors probably will not pool in the same spot on sock 1 versus sock 2, but I'm okay with that when I'm using a color like this. If I'm using a self-striping or something, I really do want the stripes to be the same, because that's just the kind of personality that I have. So this is the tag. It's Ridiculous hand-dyed yarn. It is on her Aida Socks base. It's 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. There's 463 yards in this skein. Oh, I have to fold it the right way. And this one has a quote for the name of it. Looks like another glorious morning makes me sick, Winifred. Like I said last time, I think that might be a Hocus Pocus quote, but I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to go with that one. And so I have to cake that up tomorrow, so that way I'm ready for Tuesday morning so I can cast on before I go to work. I'm probably going to use, I have some high 9-inch circulars in size 1, 2, and 3. Last time I used a size 2, and it seemed like my socks were a little bit too big. And Kay over at the Crazy Sock Lady said that when she uses a 9-inch circular needle, she actually has to go down one size because her gauge seems a little bit looser on the small circular versus any other method of knitting the socks. So I think I might try that. I think I might try going down to the size 1 circular, and they're around here somewhere. If only you saw the other side of this room. At one point, I don't know if I told you, I was going to teach a knitting class, and I asked for donations of yarn and supplies, and I got a lot of donations. So not only do I have my own stuff, I have like a huge Home Depot box and then like 2 other bins and a garbage bag full of yarn that was donated along with supplies. The problem is that that class fell through, and I don't think that after talking with somebody regarding that group that was going to do the class, I don't think that is ever going to be an option again. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. So it's all over there, and my husband has a bin of hunting equipment, and then I have all of my other craft supplies. I don't have any storage options in here, so it's just sitting here. So maybe one day I'll be able to get some storage options, so that way it's off the floor. But most of it's in bins and bags, but I just have to look around and see what I did with those needles. I think I have them. I have a small stash of knitting supplies in my bedroom. I have like a little vanity, and I use it to, have my things that I want close at hand. And they might be down there. But see, that shows that it's almost time to get ready. Tomorrow I have to get ready. Like I said, I have to cake my yarn, get my needles, grab my bag, and then decide what pattern. I think for this crazy yarn, I think a plain just stockinette stitch will do. So again, that's all a lot of rambling. But again, if you knit and you would like to join in, I'm going to post all of the information below. It's completely free. You may hear them talk about VIP campers, and that you did have to pay for because you got special privileges that the other campers did not get. Those have been all sold out since day one. but you can join for free. You do have to be on Ravelry in order to join. There's lots of prizes to be had. So if you finish a pair of socks in the 2 months, then you are eligible for prizes. So if you are a knitter and you think that you might want to join in, comment below. It'll be fun to join together, and let me know. Maybe we can message back and forth, and we can let each other know what our Ravelry names are, so that way we can follow each other there and see the progress and cheer each other on. So that is all I have to share with you today, my whips and my plans for finishing and my Summerstock Camp choice. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Memorial weekend. If you know somebody that has a family member that is a fallen soldier, I hope that you thank them for their service on behalf of their family member. I personally do not know of any family members that have fallen, but of course I am grateful for everyone for sacrificing their lives so that way we can be free and be here in this country. So enjoy your weekend, be safe, and I will see you next week. Bye.